Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome from 161 to 180 AD, the last of the 5 good emperors, ruled the mightiest empire in the world, yet his truest legacy was not carved in marble or won on the battlefield. It was written quietly in the solitude of his own mind, in words never intended for public eyes. These writings, later known as meditations, became a timeless guide to the mastery of self, to the building of unshakable discipline. His lessons are not theories, they are battle-tested truths for those who wish to live with strength, clarity, and purpose. And the first of these truths is simple. Self-discipline begins with purpose. Without a compelling reason, discipline cannot stand. Your purpose is what drags you out of bed when comfort calls you to stay. It is what pushes you through fatigue, through boredom, through fear. When your reason is clear, whether it's as immediate as fixing a flat tire to continue your journey, or as great as dedicating years to mastering your craft, you act without hesitation. You do not wait for more advice, more permission, more perfect timing. You start now because your purpose demands it. And once your purpose is set, you must count on yourself. Aurelius wrote, "Turn your desire to stone, quench your appetites, keep your mind centered on itself." Self-discipline means committing not only to the destination, but to every step of the road. It means taking action regardless of mood, energy, or convenience. It means creating a plan, setting deadlines, breaking the goal into small, winnable milestones so that overwhelm never has a chance to take hold. This way, you remain in control. You move forward steadily, and you avoid the traps of procrastination and stagnation. But purpose and planning are still nothing without the third lesson: show up every single day. Aurelius said, "Build your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible." Consistency is the habit that transforms effort into identity. You return to the work again and again until it becomes second nature. And when you fail, as or will you rise? A bad day does not define you. Your strength lies in your ability to continue. To harden this strength, Aurelius taught the value of voluntary hardship, training yourself to endure discomfort before life forces it upon you. Skip a meal, take a cold shower, sleep without a pillow, walk without a coat in the rain. Step away from the endless noise of social media. These small acts prepare you for the day real hardship comes, so that when it does, you do not break. And above all, he urged the mastery of the dichotomy of control, the understanding that you have absolute command over your mind, but none over the events of the world. Most people surrender their focus by wrestling with what they cannot change. Aurelius tells us, accept what is beyond you, act upon what is within you, and never play the victim of circumstance. And that brings us to lesson 6. Never play the victim. The words are sharp. Do your job without whining. Excuses like "I was born this way," "I never learned different," "My parents set a bad example," "Everyone else does it" are chains you willingly place on yourself. You may not be at fault for the storms in your life, but you are responsible for how you navigate them. The "why me" mindset is the enemy of mental toughness. Discipline demands that you step forward even when the blame is not yours, to right the ship instead of waiting for someone else to do it. Because the moment you see yourself as a victim, you hand over control, and without ownership, progress is impossible. From here we arrive at Lesson 7. Practice delayed gratification. Aurelius asks, so you were born to feel nice, instead of doing the things your nature demands. Delayed gratification is the ability to wait for the greater reward, to trade the pleasure of now for the triumph of later. It is resisting the sugar-laden plate at the party when you're working toward better health. It is saying not yet to what tempts you, because you know the value of what lies ahead. And as you walk this disciplined path, you will meet Lesson 8, ignore the naysayers. When you step outside the ordinary, when you declare that your life has a higher aim, you will attract those who doubt, mock, or oppose you. Some may even care for you, yet fear change so deeply that they try to hold you still. Their voices, if you allow them, can corrode your will. But to be upset by the opinion of someone you do not respect is as foolish as being angry at the weather. Listen only to the counsel of those you admire, those who live the proof of what you aim to become. And that leads directly to Lesson 9. Find wise people to emulate. Aurelius advises that we keep company with those of good character, living or dead, so we may shape our lives by their example. Look to your friends, mentors, even historical figures who have already done what you aspire to do. Study their discipline. Ask them what kept them going when it would have been easier to stop. Use their path as a map for your own. Finally, Lesson 10. Honestly review your day. Self-discipline is strengthened not only in the doing, but in the reflecting. Each night, look back at the hours behind you with honesty, courage, and humility. Where did you stand strong? Where did you falter? Where was your self-control tested? And most importantly, how will you be better tomorrow? But do not use reflection as a tool for self-punishment. Be like Seneca and forgive yourself for the failures, because it is self-forgiveness, self-condemnation that fuels improvement. Celebrate what you did well so you can repeat it. Learn from what you did poorly so you can avoid it. End each day in gratitude, knowing that every small victory is a brick in the fortress of your discipline. And so, through these 10 lessons, purpose, self-reliance, consistency, voluntary hardship, the dichotomy of control, rejecting victimhood, delaying gratification, ignoring the naysayers, seeking role models, and honest self-reflection, you will build a life unshaken by comfort, untouchable by criticism, and unbroken by hardship. This is the discipline of Marcus Aurelius. Steady, unyielding, a discipline forged not in the ease of luxury, but in the fire of self-mastery. Self-discipline is not built in grand gestures. It is forged in the small, consistent choices you make every single day. Marcus Aurelius knew this truth well, and he lived it not just as an emperor, but as a man determined to master himself before trying to lead others. The first step is to wake up with purpose, Aurelius wrote. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. You were not given life just to stay under the covers, chasing comfort and warmth. You were given life to fulfill your role, to contribute, to act with virtue. Each morning, you face a choice. to drift through the day as a passive observer, or to step into it with intention. Getting up when the alarm rings is not just about starting the day, it is an act of defiance against laziness. An early victory over the part of you that prefers ease over effort. Begin the day by doing what you said you would do, and you will. Set the tone for everything that follows. The second step is to focus only on what's within your control. Aurelius reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Life will test you with circumstances beyond your influence. The weather, the economy, other people's actions. You cannot dictate these things, but you can always choose your response. Wasting energy on what you cannot change drains your willpower and breeds frustration. A disciplined mind is like a fortress. It lets in only what serves its purpose and blocks the rest. Each time you shift your attention from what's outside your control to what's inside it, you strengthen your mental resilience and conserve the focus you need for action. Third, embrace discomfort instead of running from it. Aurelius wrote, if it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. The path of discipline is not lined with ease. It is paved with challenges. But every moment of discomfort is a training ground for the soul. You cannot build strength by avoiding what is hard. You build it by meeting difficulty head. Whether it's a cold morning run, a difficult conversation, or the patience required to learn a new skill, these trials shape you. Avoid them, and you remain soft. Face them, and you become unshakable. Complaining only deepens the pain. Acceptance transforms it into power. Fourth, commit fully to the task at hand. Aurelius warned against half-hearted effort. Concentrate every minute on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. Tenderly, willingly, with justice. Discipline demands that when you work, you truly work. When you train, you train. When you rest without guilt. Do not scatter your energy by attempting 1,000 things poorly. Bring your full attention to the present task, and you will find both greater quality and greater satisfaction in your work. Fifth, live by your values, not by impulse. Aurelius urged himself to be ruled by reason, not by fleeting desires or moods. Self-discipline means making decisions with foresight, choosing not what is easiest now, but what will serve you best in the long run. Before acting, pause. Ask, does this align with my principles? Will I respect this choice tomorrow? The undisciplined act in haste and regret it later. The disciplined think first and move with clarity. Marcus Aurelius, a man who carried the weight of an empire, reminded us with simple words, do your job without whining. It is a reminder to never play the victim, to abandon the excuses that keep you chained to who you are instead of who you could become. We have all heard the phrases, I was just born this way. I never learned any different. My parents set a terrible example. Everyone else does it. These are not truths. They are escape hatches for those unwilling to rise above their circumstances. You may not be at fault for every hardship in your life, but you are absolutely responsible for how you respond to it. Your life depends on identifying what lies within, your control, and taking it firmly into your own hands. The why me mentality is poison to mental toughness. It is always easier to shift blame, to point fingers, to retreat into self-pity. But discipline demands more. It demands you be the person who steps forward, even when you didn't cause the problem, to right the ship and move things forward. When you cast yourself as a victim, you give away your power and abandon responsibility. And without ownership, progress is impossible. And part of ownership is mastering the art of delayed gratification. As Aurelius challenged, so you were born to feel nice, instead of doing things and experiencing them. Discipline often means denying yourself the easy pleasure now for the greater reward later. It is resisting the urge to indulge when temptation is calling. Picture yourself at a holiday party, surrounded by tempting food while trying to lose weight. Giving in satisfies you for a moment, but resisting it strengthens you for a lifetime. Delayed gratification is the ability to say not yet, to put off the small, fleeting satisfaction now for the bigger, more meaningful outcome later. It is a cornerstone of self-control, a habit of mind that trains you to think beyond the moment. But as you walk this path, you will meet resistance in the form of naysayers. Marcus Aurelius warned us not to be rattled by criticism or hatred, but instead to look deeply at those who voice it and see their nature for what it is. Understand this. Whenever you step outside the comfort of the ordinary, when you commit to a special purpose, you will draw the attention of those who fear change, who despise progress, and who find security in keeping others small. Their words, if you allow them, can corrode your resolve. But letting the opinion of someone you do not respect upset your peace is as foolish as being angry at the rain. Ignore the voices that contribute nothing but doubt. Seek feedback only from those you admire, those who are living proof of what you wish to achieve, which leads to the next lesson: find wise people to emulate. Aurelius advised that we socialize with people of good character so we might model our lives on theirs, whether they live now or lived centuries ago. Look around you who is doing what you want to do, who has mastered the habits you seek to build, who has walked the path you now walk. Learn from them. Ask them how they disciplined themselves, how they kept going when the obstacles were high, how they stayed true to their plan. Let their journey guide yours, using their wisdom as a map and their example as a light. And finally, Aurelius teaches us to honestly review our day. Self-discipline is not built in the moment of action alone. It is built in reflection. The rationale, soul, he said, is defined by self-awareness, self-examination, and self-determination. Each evening, take time to look back with complete honesty. Where did you succeed? Where did you fail? Where was your self-control tested? And how did you respond? Then ask, how can I improve tomorrow? But here is the key: do not use this as a weapon to punish yourself. Be like Seneca and forgive yourself for the failures. For research and wisdom agree, it is forgiveness, not self-condemnation, that fuels progress. Celebrate what you did well so you can repeat it. Acknowledge what went wrong so you can change it, and close the day with gratitude for the victories, however small. In this way, day after day, you sharpen the blade of discipline, you take command of your life, and you live as Marcus Aurelius lived: calm, strong, purposeful, and unshaken. by the storms of the world.